just got to
There we go. Okay.
got to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so my journey's been a long one. It's been 36 years. Got bit by the network marketing bug 36 years ago. I think it was around 1989. And it's a company that was out of Vancouver, actually. It was a Canadian company called, it was called Dial Purchase to start with. And then they changed the name to Sums, which was supposed to stand for Straight Up Marketing System. And I went out after being begged literally day after day, week after week by a friend. And I finally knew I wasn't going to get rid of him unless I went out to look at a meeting. And there were people drawing circles and telling you about all the money. And my eyes popped out of my head and I went like, wow, I mean, is this legal? I mean, you can do this. I had no idea what even Amway was or anything in those days. And I made $40,000 back in 1989. Made $40,000 my first 8 weeks in the business, and ended up running two offices for the company, and did a lot. Became a trainer for the company and so forth. And as it turned out, when we went into different other provinces, namely the province of Alberta, they actually did call it a Ponzi, and it was folded down. It was gotten rid of. It could have been solved, but the owner of the company had made probably well over $10 million in that year and a half or a year, and just decided that he was going to close it down and take his money that he earned and leave us all standing in the middle of the street with our pants around our ankles. So that was not a good experience. But I will say this, I was bitten by the network marketing bug, and I did see an amazing opportunity, but I realized very quickly if I was going to do network marketing as a business side gig or full time, then I really needed to go and study network marketing. I needed to study what was a legitimate network marketing opportunity, what were the various types of compensation plans, uh, you know, really get into the background of some of these companies that I was looking at. I was getting dragged in a hundred different directions because I had a large organization at the first company, and I also wanted to lead them to someplace that was legitimate. So, long story short, got invited to a company that was a lazy company, about 13 years old. It was doing perhaps in the neighborhood of $10 million a year, mainly supplying herbal products and so forth to herbalists, naturopaths, and so forth out of Salt Lake City. We introduced a product to them called Power Trim, which was a weight loss product. And we took that company over the next several years to about $800 million. We all made a great deal of money. We all made millions, and it was a tremendous experience until the owner decided to sell, and that led us to about five different sales. Every time it was sold and bought, we were told that the comp plan was changing, and it was all supposed to be for the best for us. That our checks would increase, and the numbers of new prospects and people coming into our business would increase. None of that was true. So I kind of went into just cashing my checks mode, kind of semi-retirement for a bit there, and it wasn't until a few years later, and I'd looked at a lot of companies, but it wasn't until a few years later I came across a company. I was approached by somebody I respected. It was a company called VSI, and they had an incredible weight loss product. I tried it, loved it, shared it with a bunch of friends. They loved it, and we ended up building a business there for 10 years. I was number two income earner in the world. Had a game business internationally, and then along comes COVID. The company struggled, and the company did not make it through COVID. So you go from having a big, beautiful income every week arriving in your bank account to literally zero overnight. So I then started looking again, found a company that I had a great deal of respect for. I'd been around for about 18 years, 16 years, I guess. And, from the outside, it looked great. And so I literally got involved with it. What I saw on the inside started to look not so good, which is when MPG kind of came along. And again, out of great respect for my sponsor, Karen Ford, I took a look at it. They didn't at that time have PHIX, but I was intrigued by some of the products. I was intrigued by the weight loss coffee. My wife and I got on the weight loss coffee. We both had success with that. I was intrigued by the by the X caps, by the fuel savers, and because I had a business at one time that was dealing with those sorts of things, and so I when I first saw, this is what really flipped the switch for me, because I wasn't really doing the business. I was using the products and I told a few people, but I wasn't really doing the business. So then what ends up happening is Terry jumps on a Zoom call and introduces this little baby right here, Fit, and that just changed my life right there. From that first half hour Zoom, I looked at that. I thought back to my history with Power Trim back in the early days where we took that company to 800 million. I looked at the weight loss product that we had with VSI and becoming number 2 income earner in the world. And I just went like, this is it. This is it. This is the gasoline that they needed to pour on the fire at MPG, because at that time, like I say, it was just kind of a lazy little company. As many of you know, my sponsor at the time that I joined, he was only earning before PHIX was only earning about $800 a month, and within 8 months she was at $80,000 a month. So from $800 to $80,000 a month in 8 months. Well, you know, that sets an example for all of us. And we even saw other people like Terry Kemp, even with more impressive numbers. So, you know, I mean, it just has caught my attention. As many products as we have, like the Emulin 5, like the New Zealand Fulvic, like the Core Immunity, you know, the Proactive Greens, whatever country you're in, it really doesn't matter because, you know, really the foundation for our business, as far as I'm concerned, always starts with PHIX. And so if you're not in a country that has PHIX right now, maybe you came in like through the UK and you're in Europe at the moment or what have you, just start doing business in the countries that has this product, or figure out a way to get it into your country. But anyway, that's kind of my compressed 36 years into about 6 minutes, I hope.
So, John, what made MP? I mean, you talked about some of the companies that have let you down. I think probably anybody that's on this call that's been in network marketing a few years has a similar experience. So, for you, what's different?
Oh boy. So what is different? Well, number one, you know, I did have a bit of time because I was just playing around with the coffee and playing around with the gas caps and things like that. I did have a bit of time to kind of get to know the company, to get to know Tom at a time when Tom wasn't nearly as busy as he is these days. Now he has no time for me. But no, it you know, when I started learning the goals, the philosophies, and so forth, and the backgrounds to the owners, and really what they were trying to build and we're building, which is a legacy company, a company that you know, they would not sell, a company that they would hand down to their children. In fact, all of their children are involved in the company in one way or another at head office and so forth. When I started hearing those sorts of things, and I, you know, as they say, over time, it really started growing on me that this company had something special going for it already, because it was already in 23 countries very quickly, but it just didn't have that spark. It didn't have that fix. We needed to fix this company first. So yeah, so your leadership is really important. And so it wasn't just the corporate leadership that I was impressed with. It was also the field leadership I was impressed with. Obviously, Karen and I have known each other side by side in various companies. I've seen her go to the top of companies like Valentis while I was going to the top of VSI and so forth. In fact, she was with VSI for a while before she went off to Valentis. And I was introduced through to Terry Kemp. And one of the things I said to Terry right at the very beginning is I gave him a little bit of my background, much shorter than what I just gave you. And, you know, I said to Terry, I said, so I want to go fast because of PHIX. What do I do? And he said, well, number one, forget about your 36 years in the industry because that's not duplicatable. You know, people can't come along and duplicate your 36 years. So what you need is something that's duplicatable. So use the tools, use the tools, use the tools, use the tools. And so I got that loud and clear. And so I said, okay, where are the tools? So at that time, they were just really starting to come out with ACE. And he's going like, you know, just start sharing the ACE gems. Okay, which ACE gems? Well, here's a couple ACE gems. Just start sharing them. You know, so I started doing that. And in the beginning, I didn't even have any knowledge of back office of ACE or what to do back there or anything. I was just sharing basically some connections that were sent to me. So I wasn't even able to see at that time that people were opening them or not. But my team started building, and you know, I put in about 60, somewhere around 62 people so far, I think. And you know, so it really, when you've got products that are special, exclusive, products that work, you've got a compensation plan, and this is probably one of the biggest things. You know, you can explain this compensation plan in less than 5 minutes. You can probably explain it in less than 2 minutes. You know, I mean, basically, I had been in binary compensation plans before that had a lot of tricks up their sleeves. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that gave me issues with the company that I joined out of Canada was that it was supposedly a, you know, a binary, but it had about 14 different things that you had to jump through by the end of the month to pick up on this bonus and that bonus and another bonus and whatever. It was very, there was a lot of hidden things there that made it almost impossible for the average person to be able to you know, fulfill those obligations each and every month. And so they weren't getting paid on that. So they would say, oh yeah, we've got like a 70% payout. Well, I kind of figure it's probably closer to 30, you know, because that money that doesn't get paid out to the field goes back to the company. Whereas our compensation plan is very straightforward. You know, we have a tremendous, very generous binary, very simple binary, and we also have a very simple and extremely generous matching bonus. And basically, that's really all you have to think about. If you're bringing somebody in, am I putting them in my right leg? Am I putting them in my left leg? And either one is going to be a good decision. But you know, as you do that, and as they start bringing in people, and many of you have maybe seen 12 bringing in 12, bringing in 12, the power of 12. You know, how to get to $10,000 a month quickly. And you know, as you just start doing that, you know, now you watch your matching bonuses going up. And the matching bonuses, you know, Karen, I don't think she'd mind me sharing this, but you know, Karen told me that she makes actually more off of her matching bonuses than she does off of the binary itself. And that's extremely important because many times you don't get paid really on your larger leg. But if you've got a lot of really successful people that came into your larger leg and you're getting matching bonuses down 7 levels, that's extremely, you know, that's a lot of money. So that, yeah, again, long answer perhaps, but all of those things together created for me what I think is the most simple, most generous, and best performing company I've seen in, well, probably in my entire 36-year history.
Yeah, I think of that last night on at the boot camp, and there was us two, Ken and Alberto, were in your room having a couple of drinks, weren't we? And I think one of the things that really sung home with me on the way home was that succession planning, because I think you mentioned it 2 or 3 times, and I think we had a bit of a drunken talk about that. But it was not, just wondering.
That's when I do my best work.
That succession plan really hit home with me because you know there's nothing guaranteed, is there? Well, even if you got a conventional business, you get a thing like a pandemic come along or something like that. So there's nothing guaranteed in whatever you do. But the fact that the company on stage publicly have talked about succession planning, um, I think that's huge. I think that's huge.
You're exactly right, Neil. And the nice thing about it, like if you know, my kids have watched me for 36 years. They're not, you know, I've got in network marketing before they were born. And they would have no idea where to start. If Sherry and I go down in an airplane, and we've got this business here. In other companies, they would have no idea where to start. They probably would just watch that just plummet. Whereas the simplicity of our comp plan and also the leadership, I have full faith that if something happened to us, that the leadership would uh, very quickly educate them. And as I say, the education process really isn't all that much, is it? Do your 50 points every month, talk to a few people, share the products, make some money. It's pretty simple.
So what would you say, John? So someone's just starting this business, they've never done network marketing before, or if they have, they've not really gone anywhere with it. What would you, and they haven't got that big network of people. They've got a few friends and family, but they haven't got that big network of people. What would you, to get them started, what would you suggest?
Well, I guess everybody's got, friends. Everybody's, I think that, first of all, you want to kind of pick out maybe, 20, 24 friends, and then maybe look at your top 12, look at the people that you maybe would think, this would be cool to travel the world with these people. What if they can build an international business with me? We could all travel the world together. These are people who are close to me, who I love. They could be family members, they could be friends, they could be business associates, what have you. Look for the successful people in your life as well, the people who are already doing it, because if you want something to get done, give it to somebody who's already too busy, because they always manage to get it done. But building a list is so basic to our business, and people need to do it. They just have to do it. And even just a little notebook the size of a cell phone or something, we just put some names in and keep it in your pocket, and you just keep adding to it, because people, even years later, people will come up in your head and, oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that person. It really doesn't have to be complicated. But the main thing is to get them connected as quickly as possible. A new person needs to be connected. They need to be now there can be where you can overconnect somebody. You put them into too many groups, and they're in 12 WhatsApp groups, they're in this and that, and their phone's going bing, 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 and they oh my gosh, and they're all the same messages, and so you have to kind of realize that everybody's time is valuable, and so put them into the groups that you feel will connect them best to the products in the business, and give them support. And so obviously we've got our team Facebook pages with Karen. I always love those, but really the number one thing, as we've been learning about, is Campfire. As a in the independent distributor, you want to get them involved in Campfire and connected with Campfire. And then the other thing is people who are wanting to kick they're looking at the car, they go, like the car, but do I really want to buy it? Well, they need a test drive. They need to take a look in the trunk. They need to kick the tires. Or somebody driving past a house, they're not going to see a for sale sign and go, hey, I want to buy that house. They need to get inside the house. They need to go through the basement, through the main floor, through the bedrooms and bathrooms, and they need to kick the walls and find out if they still stand up afterwards. And being in real estate for a number of years and owning a couple of real estate offices, I see exactly what the process is with people buying a house or buying a car, and so it's really important that people get an inside look at our business sometimes too. And in that case, we can stick them inside the Campfire, a place that's warm, a place that's comfortable, a place that gives them information they're looking for, a place that's it's a one-stop shop, getting a look at the inside of MPG.
I think that's invaluable. I really do. I'm trying to put as many people in there as possible because, as you say, it's just a non-threatening environment, isn't it? It's just a non-threatening environment. They get introduction to some of the products, they get introduction to some of the people, the culture, the family culture in the company, and whatever. I think it's invaluable. So,
Absolutely. It's really there's two buckets at the moment, two primary buckets. The one is for people who are in the business, and then you've got the one for people that are looking at the business. And so you want to fill both buckets with number one, anybody you got in the business should be in Campfire. I mean, just at mpgcampfire.com. Anybody in the business should be signing up for mpgcampfire.com, and that'll put them in there. And once they're in there, they can go to sorry, what's the
Take back your life.
yes. They go there, and they'll find there's a link there that they can share with people who are outside of the business. And then when people join using that link, it's going to permanently code them to you. So you put somebody into that link, and they go, I would like to take a closer look, and it is a private place, so nobody knows I'm in there. And they go in. Well, guess what? They buy product, that you get the benefit of that. They join the company, you get the benefit of that. They're permanently coded to you. So you don't have to worry if somebody goes in there and maybe somebody else tries to do something unscrupulous, which doesn't normally happen in this company. But somebody could literally, or somebody could just start being friendly, or friends do end up in there, together too. Like, oh, I didn't know you were looking at this. Well, I didn't know you were looking at this. Well, maybe you should join under me. Well, no, I'm permanently coded to I'm permanently coded to Neil Slim. So that's who I'm going to be under. You go under who you're under.
I'd love that, John. I'd love your team underneath me.
Well, you know what? A year from now, you might be saying John's team was too small. I need to build my own.
So, but the last thing I really want to talk about, and then we'll open it up to other people asking questions. Boot camp. Now, there's a few people on here. So, Lisa, obviously, you met Stefan, Simone, Alberto, Claire. Did I see Claire somewhere? Of course, we can't forget Susan. I've never seen somebody so excited since we back as Susan about boot camp, especially a love affair with Mark Assetta. I think she's absolutely besotted with the guy, and rightly so. So tell me, boot camp, what's your takeaway from it? What's your big takeaway from boot camp?
Well, I mean, I was pretty committed to this company before ever going to boot camp, and I had the luxury of being at the Vegas event back in April. But I think what I really felt and what I saw happening with other people around me, they might have come to boot camp with, they were already in the business. They were already in MPG. They were committed. But when they left boot camp, MPG was in them. So it's a difference between you being in the company or the company actually being in you. And I think that's what people came away from boot camp with, was this deep sense of, just tear off all the band-aids and let's just do this because it's just too important. And if you saw the call last night on Winner's Circle and you heard those testimonies, and I madly took notes last night and so forth. Mm-hmm. All of the things that have been happening to people through our products, through their health and also through their wealth. It really, if you're not telling people about this company and about these products, then what are you doing? I mean, really.
Yeah, the record that Winner's Circle was on about 2 o'clock in the morning our time, but it's literally just been published in the last hour on Campfire. So if
perfect, I've been begging for it since last night, so I'm glad to hear it got published, because it is one that you should share with everybody. I mean, it's about 35 minutes long or something, but I'm telling you, it goes by like it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's worth watching. Definitely worth watching. It's a great thing you can watch while you're driving or on the train or doing whatever you're doing. You do. So, I don't want to just me talking about questions. I'm sure there's lots of questions from you guys as well. So if you want to unmute yourself far away to John while we've got this unique opportunity to grill him. You unmute yourself, or have I done something that says you can't? Please ask some questions. Hello?
Anybody? I must have answered them all.
Answered them all without an asking. No one wants to ask a question. Somebody.
I had you already answered in your. Oh, thank you, Lisa.
So great. Oh, are we? Anybody else? Alberto, Christian, Stefan, Simone. Come on, ask some questions. What have we got? Susan.
Okay, I will make the beginning here. Hello, John. thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Stefan.
I just finished my German Zoom call every Monday, and I took 7 people from the German Zoom to this Zoom. And I think that we are all very excited. And I heard from Stefan and Simone about an amazing event you had. When is it coming to Germany, my friend? Yeah.
Well, all I can say is I mean, I did have a number of discussions down at boot camp with corporate, with the field leaders and so forth, and all I can say is the EU is very much their priority. Getting product flowing into the EU, either through, well, the main thing is getting product flowing to begin with, and that could happen through Ireland. It could happen through the Netherlands. But they're very aware that you guys are being patient and also at the same time being probably a little frustrated. So it is indeed a priority, and I'm really hoping we're going to see some movement here very soon.
So are we.
Okay. Who knows what very soon is, right? Very soon in this, in network marketing, a day is a week is a month is a year. And, we get very upset if things don't happen right away because we want things to happen at the speed of sound. But unfortunately, things do have to move at the speed of business as well, for us to make sure the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and that your business, when it is there for good. And we're not going to get run out of a country because we tried to do something. Because if you get run out of a country, a likelihood of getting back in is sometimes not very good.
Yeah, we met Greg, didn't we, at the boot camp as well? And Greg worked for her. He's an American guy, but he worked for Herbalife, and he was based just down the road from where I live. So he knows how to do this, and he knows the bureaucracy, and even just launch it. Because I was asking him about that new product, Core Immunity.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. Oh.
Yeah, so I was asking him when's Immunity going to be available to us in the UK, and he says as soon as I can get through the process, the bureaucracy and everything else, every single ingredient has to be checked against databases and approved lists and all sorts of things. So he knows what he's doing, and he's very methodical. That's what did definitely come across. Susan.
So
sorry.
Sorry. I was just going to make a comment with regard to ingredients. Yes, as you get into more ingredients, you're going to find that each ingredient can be individually scrutinized, and you could be turned down just because one ingredient, or you might be using the wrong name in that particular country for that ingredient. Some ingredients are the same ingredient. They've got 6, 7, 8 different names, and if you use the wrong name in a particular country, you could get turned down just because they don't recognize that particular name. They know by something else. If they don't know it, they're going to turn you away. But the one thing I love about PHIX, it's one ingredient. Everybody knows the hot plant flour. Everybody knows the hot plant. I mean, who doesn't drink beer? If you're not drinking beer, you should. Sorry. Vitamin B. So yeah, it's I think we're going to have a fairly easy time of getting PHIX in. I can't see any country really turning that down.
Cool.
Talking about products, John, what is your favorite product beside PHIX?
Gosh, my favorite product beside PHIX. I'm just looking at them all right here. I know how important they all are. I do love the Emulin because Emulin not only knocks out about 1/3 of your sugars and carbohydrates from your diet, but it also is very high anti-inflammatory, excellent for active people, for athletes, diabetics trying to balance their blood sugars and so forth. There's just so much that can be said about, Emulin 5. And then, New Zealand Fulvic, as you know, this isn't the way it is anymore. It's going to be a powder. But New Zealand Fulvic is one of my favorites too, because I've had a lot of success. There you go. Absolutely perfect. So New Zealand Fulvic, I've built some pretty big businesses throughout Asia. And one of the important products for a lot of these Asian countries is this product right here. I used to sell, millions of dollars worth of this. This is a different company. It's called Cellular Detox. This one. Well, it's basically what this is what this is in terms of getting rid of heavy metals in your body and so forth. But basically zeolite, which is what this is. Zeolite just gets the heavy metals out of your body. New Zealand Fulvic just does so much more. It gets the heavy metals out of your body, which is what everybody in Asia wants to do, and probably everybody in the world, quite frankly. But it just does so much more on top of that, in terms of your vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals, and so forth. And so the next favorite product after PHIX, gosh, I'm just looking at them all here. The greens. I mean, who doesn't love the greens?
I can't wait. I can't wait to try the greens. I just ordered for the first time the greens, and I heard so many great stories about that. I can't wait.
Christian, the great thing about the greens, you don't need to mix it with anything other than water. It's
just
not
water.
A lot of greens products out there in the marketplace are so bitter and so bland. You don't even need to mix this with anything else other than just water.
Yeah, I do also. This is something we do every day. Is our Slim Core Java. That was the product that really brought me to MPG a couple of years ago, and so I do love that product because my wife and we have a Keurig coffee maker, so it makes 1 cup at a time. Of course, granted, they're large cups; they're about 12 or 14 ounces. And so what I do is I have 2 coffees every morning. That's all I ever have now is 2 coffees. When I was a firefighter, I used to drink 30 cups a day. So I've cut it back to 2. And so what I do is I take a half a scoop and I add it to my already freshly made coffee just to thicken it up a little bit. And I just love this all the time in my program.
What's your favorite product, Christian? Christian?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, PHIX, and I love the Emulin, I can't wait. I'm very keen to try the greens. I saw so many great reports also in the podcast. There was one about the greens, and I think it's a fantastic product.
Yeah, and then of course we got to talk about fit, right? I mean, oh my gosh, this was introduced to us back in Las Vegas, the fit product, and we all got to taste it. There were about 600 people in Las Vegas, and I mean, it just, I don't know if everybody's had a chance to try it, but it is tremendous, and what it does for you. In Terry's case, what they did, they had the special instrumentation and stuff there to actually measure what your resting metabolic rate was. Terry's was about 1,200 calories a day. When they tested him an hour or 2 later after he took the fit, his resting sort of calorie burn went from 1,200 to over 1,600. I think it was 1,602. So right there, you've got a difference of, over 400, calories a day being burned effortlessly. And this is the subcutaneous fat, whereas the fit, this is the subcutaneous fat, which is the jiggly wiggly stuff that we don't want to see when we're looking in the mirror, right?
Anyone else got any questions for John before we wrap things up?
I did cut off a young lady.
Oh, that was really, really helpful, John. It was really good to hear you talk about the other products as well and your insights into them, because again, I think obviously just taking these products for the past couple of months, we can see the results. But I think because you've been in it such a long time, obviously your expertise and your feedback, it's been really valuable tonight. So thank you.
I appreciate that. I just, I guess to sort of summarize things that, people just need to, the most important thing I think is to just stay connected. It's easy in a busy life, especially if somebody's not really, fully committed, or they're kind of a little bit lost. It's really important to make sure that they're connected. Just get them into a group. Make sure they know when Terry's got his calls on. Make sure they know when they've, winner's circle on Sunday nights in some parts of the world, at least. Just keep them connected, because and I've had people that have come in, and we were selling PHIX on terribly, terribly. We were selling PHIX. I mean, it was like we're telling everybody it was a weight loss product, and burns dangerous visceral fat, and which is all true, but we didn't realize until hundreds and then tens of thousands of people started using it that what it did for the vagus nerve, activating the vagus nerve, and regulate, which regulates 1100 functions of your body. And if you listen to last night's call, and you all have the opportunity to do that now because the recording is out, so even if you missed it, you can actually go and when you're starting to talk about people getting just total life-changing things that have happened from taking this product, just because it reactivates your vagus nerve, and you get those 1100 functions of your body starting to click, most people they don't have that anymore. They're in desperate need. So, for myself, like sleep, I used to have restless legs, allergies, just on and on. I lost, in my first 3 months, I did lose 19.2 pounds of dangerous visceral fat, but I replaced it with 13.2 pounds of lean body mass. Wow. So I would have only seen on a scale 6 pounds in 3 months. Impressive, but not that impressive. 6 pounds is 6 pounds. But when I saw I actually lost 19.2 pounds of dangerous visceral fat and replaced that with lean body mass at 70 years old, I'm going like, bring this on, baby. I'm taking this for the rest of my life. So it is amazing. And anybody who wants to sort of track themselves in that way should download for free the Me360 app. That Me360 app is it'll tell you things that you don't even realize, because I didn't realize I was drinking and shrinking, and all of a sudden, like, I'm down to like the last belt hole of my. I have a fire department belt from 40 years ago, and I'm right down to the last loop. Where I'm not even sure 40 years ago if I was down to the last loop. So it's great to see, and I feel actually better now taking these products than I did when I was in my 50s. So you just can't go wrong putting these products in your body. They're going to do amazing things for you.
Yeah, so you're gonna live a few more years now, John, by the sound of it.
Yeah, and it all started with just making a commitment to myself that I was always going to have my 50 points every month, do my 50 points, and now I'm you can see all the products I'm taking now, so how many points I'm using now. But it's funny, I've seen this time and time again with people in network marketing. When they first come in, they're kind of scrimping, and they're kind of like, you got to buy my 50 points. It's going to cost me $80 US, and oh my gosh, and that kind of thing. But then all of a sudden, the check starts building. The check starts building up, and all of a sudden they're making maybe $1,000 a month. And now all of a sudden it's not that important what it's costing them, because they're making a lot more than what they're spending. And then all of a sudden maybe they're going, well, I'm taking the PHIX, but maybe I'll use the Emulin too. And now they're spending 100 instead of 50, for points. And so, now I'm probably, 200, 300, 400 points a month, because my wife loves the products too. So I gotta make sure she's got them as well. So.
Fantastic.
Now, talking about your experiences, I followed so much the American testimonial calls, and I always had the goal to have the first German testimonial call, just testimonials. And we had it 2 weeks ago, and it was breathtaking. We had a lady, actually, she's also here in this room. She has migraine problems since a child. And she really says we say Hopfen Tropfen, we say, John, Hopfen Tropfen. There was a creation from Stefan, yeah. The Hopfen, the drops, the hop drops, yeah. That is the only thing which is really helping. So migraine, her boyfriend, diabetes, much better results with the sugar level, yeah. One lady, she has really was afraid of flying, yeah. And she had to take pills and everything. She was now on a big trip to Dubai, to Thailand, back and forth. And she said, really, the hop drops improved her flight
Anxiety.
pain.
Anxiety?
Anxiety, exactly. Yeah. Then we had two amazing weight loss testimonials. I mean, amazing. Huh? So we had a fantastic testimonial call, and that is so much promising. And maybe we do it every one time per month, maybe. But we have now our first great, amazing testimonials also here in Germany.
Christian, that's amazing. I mean, that is a really good. That's a really good step. Because facts tell, but stories sell. And people, it's great for people to hop on and maybe hear some stories from North America, but it even means more when it's from in your own backyard. And it's people right around you, and that maybe the belief system's just a little bit more. I don't know. But I see there's a question here. Where do you watch the USA testimonial calls? And I'm just going to say that you've got to be in one of the groups. You'll get it because we're going to be putting it. Well, I'll be putting that link for the last night's call. I'll be putting it in everything that I'm in. So if you're in one of my groups or one of Karen Ford's groups, you're gonna see it.
It's on Campfire as well. If you're on Campfire.
On Campfire as well. Good. Yeah, Campfire is the one place. Again, mpgcampfire.com. That's the one place that everybody should be, and make sure all the people that you're bringing in get. That's a connection. That's a place to connect.
Yeah. Wonderful. Any more questions before we wrap it up this evening? Cool. So, John, thank you for your time from all of us. Really, really appreciate it. So great to catch up again. So everybody that's on this call next week, we've got Carrie, who we met in Dallas. Carrie is so lovely, so sweet. She's a hairdresser, and she's a blue diamond. And she's only been in this business a year. I think it was a 1-year anniversary, I think, when we was in Dallas, or just before. So, I say, she's a hairdresser. She's so sweet and lovely. You need to meet her. So please come back next week, same time. Come and meet Carrie and hear her story, because I'll tell you now, it's very, very powerful. And she is so, what's the word I'm looking for? Humble, so unassuming. Doesn't come across as a real big powerhouse, but she clearly is.
Yes.
The Blue Diamond. She's at Blue Diamond. So please come back next week and meet Carrie, because I think you'll be very, very impressed. As much as you are with John, you will be in a different way next week with Carrie. So, guys, thank you. This is a weekly occurrence now up to the end of the year. We've got whole lines of people, leaders lined up to the end of the year that we met in boot camp that we're trying to bring to you. So, so we've also got the Poop Lady lined up. We've got Nikki lined up. We've got lots of different people lined up between now and the end of the year. So we start with John, and we just get prettier. I think that's fair to say.
I think that's fair to say. Starting at a low bar.
Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, guys. Thank you, John. Cheers, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Thank you.